Vijay was born on the 12th of July, 1969. Rotarian Vijay's classification, he's a chartered accountant, and he's been practicing for over 30 years. His Rotary experience background. PPVJ started as early at a tender age of 11 when his father and his mother joined as chartered members of the Rotary Club of Thane East. He was a charter president of the Rotaract Club of Muland East in 1990-1991, where he won the Best New Club Award in that year. He joined Rotary in January 2015 and won the Best Rotarian Award in the first 2 years of joining. He became the secretary in 2017-2018 and then eventually became president 2018-2019, all from the Rotary Club of Thane Harbor. Currently, he is a member of the Rotary Club of Thane Titans, that's Rotary International District 3142. He's held several district appointments, from the district chair, district international service chair to the district friendship exchange chair, district intercontinental country committee chair, and he's completed his RLI graduation and the faculty also in 2016. He's widely traveled. Our dear brother and friend is also a member of several, is an honorary member of the Rotary Club of Jabi Lakeside and several other clubs around the world. PPVJ is married. PPVJ is married and has kids. To mention but a few, he is also a past president of the Tax Practitioners Association, Thane, past president, Tax Friends Association, Mumbai, past national treasurer, All Indian Federation of Tax Practitioners. If I'm going to have to continue, we'll creep up a lot or chunk in a lot of his time. And so I beg to stop here, but then the voice you're going to hear and the things you're going to see, the other person, but a distinguished Rotarian that is well known around the world. To me, I don't call him a Rotarian, I call him a big brother because he's more of a big brother to me. And he supported our club, the Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers Hill, in the year 2019-2020. That's the Rotary Connect year. Well, the person you're going to see is no other person but Vijay Kewalramani. You have the floor.
Thank you, A.G. George, for that sweet introduction. My good friend PDG IO, Dr. Sam, Carol, friends from my district, Sushma ji, my president-elect Sunil. I can see friends from across the globe who have come to join me. A.G. Nana from Ghana, Carol from US, from Bangladesh and from Pakistan and across the globe. I cannot name everybody. It will take a lot of time. And definitely past President John of the year, what George was speaking. Past President John is also, I can see him. So I have had good relations with the club. Thank you, A.G. George, for giving me the opportunity to present my views on the Rotary Foundation. Friends, before we start speaking on the Rotary Foundation, I would like all of you to just see this small video and then I will talk on my talk. Is it visible?
In a world full of challenges, you make solutions possible. Because of you, last year, we funded over 1,090 global grants, 470 district grants, and 310 disaster response grants Together, we are providing clean water and growing local economies, supporting education, and promoting peace, supporting mothers and their children, providing aid to the communities affected by disasters, and preventing diseases like polio. Last year, donors like you contributed more than Because of you, together, we can do even more good. Thank you for your dedication to strengthening communities around the world. The Rotary Foundation.
Thank you, friends. This was a brief about the Rotary Foundation. As the topic said, why should we donate to the Rotary Foundation? So I thought it important to give an overview, and what better overview than from the Rotary International itself. This was a 2023 report that I have shared with you, and we can see the works that is being done. Rotary Foundation is one of the oldest non-governmental organizations that is going on in the world. It has been ranked number 4 star rating. That is the topmost star rating by the Charity Navigator website. And this year it has been the 15th continuous year, which is a record in itself. Why does that happen, friends? Because is my presentation visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. So why does that happen? Because we in Rotary, we do not spend for ourselves. If you see in any other NGO, what happens is they have a big administrative cost. If you see any other NGO, you take it, UNESCO, you take it as CRY, or you take it as this one, Red Cross, they have administrative costs running from 30% to 45%. So whatever amount you are giving, every dollar that you give, only $55 to $75, 0.55 to 75 cents actually go to the beneficiary. Whereas in the Rotary Foundation, if you give to the Rotary Foundation, our administrative costs are as low as 3%, 2.8 to 3%. So that's why we spend, out of every dollar that you are giving, around 97 cents actually go to the beneficiary. And most of the donation that we give to the club for directly for projects, 100% of that amount goes to the project and the beneficiary. That is the benefit of the Rotary and the Rotary Foundation. And that is why it has been given 4-star rating, the topmost rating by the Charity Navigator, the agency which rates NGOs across the globe. And that is the only reason why agencies like Bill and Melinda Gates, they have joined, aligned with Rotary for donating. Somebody asked Bill Gates in an interview. He said, you have such a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Why do you want to give to Rotary to do your cause of work? Why don't you do it directly? He replied that if I do it directly, I would have to incur an administrative cost of 30%. So out of every $100 that I give, only 70 would go to the beneficiary. Whereas if I give to Rotary, I know that at least 95 to 97% is going to the beneficiary. That is why I donate through Rotary. This is the importance of the Rotary Foundation, friends. And as we saw, the number of global grants that have gone, the number of work that is being in all areas. Let us start going into the history. What is the motto first? The motto of the Rotary Foundation is doing good in the world. The motto in itself speaks everything, that what we target is doing good in the world. We have no other aim, we have no other focus. Our focus is only doing good in the world. And then similarly, that's why there is a mission statement. The mission statement of the Rotary Foundation is to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill and peace. We target on world understanding, goodwill and peace, which is also reflected in the objects of Rotary, which is reflected in the 4-way test also. through the improvement of health, the support of education, and the elevation of poverty. So what is the mission? The mission is to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, and elevation of poverty. If health improves, if education improves, and poverty is eliminated, then definitely there will be learning, there will be more positivity in the world, and there will be more peace and goodwill across the globe. That is why Rotary has been advocating peace also. We have peace centers, we have peace ambassadors coming in. And Rotary was one of the 42 NGOs which was there, called in, invited at the time of formation of the United Nations. And we have a permanent seat at United Nations till now. What is the history? The foundation was created in 1917 by our sixth president, R.C. Klum, as an endowment fund for Rotary. It started as an endowment fund. He started it with an initial contribution of USD 26.5. That's why we see if you give around $250,000, there's a recognition in his name, R. Klum recognition, which is given. The foundation got its formal name as the Rotary Foundation in the Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA convention in 1928. Having understood this, every NGO, every foundation, every organization needs funds for support. So what are the sources of support that Rotary Foundation gets? Before we go into the expenses, let us understand. The biggest, one of the important one is the Polio Plus Fund, which is dedicated to the global polio eradication. Friends, we'll see the use later. The other one is the annual fund, which is the primary source of funding for the foundation, because this is the fund from where we get our district grants and the global grants. The contribution that we give to the global annual fund, they come back, 50% come back in the third year to the district, and the remaining 50% is kept in the world fund, which is used for the global grants and other grants, disaster fund and all that, whereas the 50% that the district gets goes to for the district designated grants which the district governor normally issues. And the third and most important source is the endowment fund. It supports the foundation perpetuity. That is, you create a fund, that amount is not spent directly. It is invested and the returns earned out of it are invested. So thus that endowment fund is created in perpetuity. We would look at each of these in detail now. So what is the Polio Plus Fund? It was launched in 85. Friends, how it started? The story is that a club in Manila, they started an initiative to eradicate polio. They started giving polio doses. The Rotary district over there, they saw it, they liked it, they took it up. And ultimately, Rotary International took it up in 85. They started the polio eradication, this thing. And now we have only two countries which have polio remaining, that is Pakistan and Afghanistan. Nigeria was declared polio free a few years back. India was declared polio free 13 years back. This is the power of Rotary. It primarily supports the global efforts to end polio fund. Rotary has contributed more than 9 billion, overall global polio eradication initiative, which is a joint initiative by UNESCO and Rotary and the World Health Organization. They have spent around $9 billion US, out of which Rotary has contributed over $2 billion US for the polio eradication. Yes, Bill and Melinda Gates has been supportive. How they have been supporting is, they started it in 2007 with a 100 million challenge, saying that we would give $100 million for polio eradication if the Rotarians can accumulate an equal amount within a specified time. And they were shocked to know that the Rotarians got it within less than half the time. They accumulated the fund around $100 million. That way, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation gave $100 million, and they are still supporting. For every dollar that you contribute to the Polio Plus Fund, Bill and Melinda Gates gives $2, and that's not all. That $3 is supported one-on-one by Rotary Foundation. So every dollar that you give becomes $6. It goes to the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, and it is spent on that. let us understand, as per the latest 22-23 report, the individual contributions for Polio Plus Eradication Fund. As we can see, there are around 152,853 individual contributors. Out of that, 144,000 are Rotarian contributors. So, 12.4% of the Rotarians across the globe have contributed for the polio fund. Yes, that has increased from 18-19, 9.2%. It has gone up to 12.4% in 22-23. And the total giving per Rotarian for the Polio Plus Fund has also gone up from $29.96 to $32.64. That's a positive achievement. Although in the previous 2 years, it was not that high, but all of a sudden it has jumped because of Corona 19, 20, 20, 21, it was not there. We also see the club contributions and the club participations. 36,000 clubs are there. Out of that, 21,000 clubs have donated for the Polio Plus. That is around 58.5% of the clubs have participated. And there are 100% participating districts. 100% participating districts are those districts where each of the club in that district has participated for the Polio Plus Fund. And that has gone from 33 to 30. It has gone down in this year. Whereas the percentage of clubs participating in Polio Plus has gone up from 51.5% to 58.5%. Again, that is a positive. Next, we come to the annual fund. Primary funding source for grants and activities, as I explained to you, it goes into the share system. 50%, but nowadays there's a 5% deduction for operating administrative costs. So 47.5% of the amount that we give to annual fund comes back in after 3 years to our district for the district grants. 47.5% goes to the World Fund, which is spent for the global grants and the peace initiatives and the other things. It supports local and international grants through the share system. It would need a lot of time, so I would not go into detail in the share system. Contributions are credited to individual donor and the donors club and are applied for club and district's annual goals. So whatever you contribute, you get credits for that. Not only you, your district as well as the club also get the credit for every contribution that you give, and they are applied for the club and district annual goals. That is, as I said, 47.5% come back. So your annual goals, it is also targeting towards the annual goals that the club and district are giving. Let us analyze the actual giving. Rotarian contributors have increased from 32.4 to 34.4%, and per Rotarian, the per capita giving per Rotarian is $114.68 vis-a-vis $105.95 in 18-19. Similarly, club contributions, we can see 81.3% of the clubs have been participating for the annual goal, whereas we saw 58 point something clubs going for the Polio Plus Fund. And there are 100% participating districts. So it is as good as the same, except for 21-22, where the number of clubs had gone down to 74 districts. The third and most important source is endowment fund. As I told you, here the funds are invested. They are not spent directly. The contributions that they are received are invested in perpetuity. Only the earnings out of the investments are spent. It offers donors a way to create their own lasting legacy through Rotary. What it does is it gives you an opportunity. Supposing you want to create a legacy in the name of your parent or in the name of your club, like Abuja Ministers Hill. If you got say 30 members, 25 members, you can create an endowment fund in the name of Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers Hill. Every member can contribute just $1,000. That's it. And they can become benefactor members. They will get a recognition of benefactor members. The club will get an endowment fund. And every year, the earnings out of that investments where Rotary will invest, that earning will come to the club for their spending for the projects. It will not remain with Rotary International. It will not remain with your district. It will come to the club. The earnings are sent to the club until you say that you can spend it directly. The club gets the amount and the club has the right to spend it as per their choice. So this is the option that you are getting, as well as the club's name goes in perpetuity. What are the mode of contributions of endowment fund? Outright gifts of cash, investments or properties. What you can give is either you can give a gift or cash of $25,000 upfront, or as I said, a group of people can join in and accumulate $25,000 and give it. Not only that, you can give a commitment of giving $25,000 over a period of 3 years. That would also be contributed toward the endowment fund. So if your club also doesn't want to give outright $25,000, you can give a commitment that Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers Hill will give a contribution of $25,000 over a period of 3 years, and you can create an endowment fund for that, and you get the benefits of the investments and the expenses. Life income gifts, example, charitable gift annuities, pooled income funds, etc., which normally person can give it. You have annuity account which you can nominate for the Rotary Foundation for life pooled income funds. Testamentary gifts through wills or estate plans. This can be given. You can just mention in your will or estate plan. Here you have to give only $10,000, not even $25,000 for the endowment. You can nominate in your life insurance retirement plan account or a life insurance policy or other financial account that at the end of the period, the amount goes to the Rotary Foundation. That way also you can donate to the Rotary Foundation and send a copy of that nomination, registered nomination to Rotary Foundation, and they will register an endowment in your name. Again, we see towards the endowment, 1.4% of the Rotarians only are contributing towards endowment. Why individual? I told you that is you need not give 25,000, but even $1,000 if you give as a group, that is also treated as a contribution. But yes, here the positive thing is it has gone up to nearly 3 times from 0.5% to 1.4%, and the per person contribution, per Rotarian contribution has gone to $34.36. Similarly, 8.8% of the clubs are contributing for the endowment fund. As we can see, our goal for endowment fund for 2025 is 2.025 billion. How? That is 1 billion in cash, net assets of 1 billion, as well as commitments of 1.025 billion that we'll get. As I told you, you can give commitments for future givings in 2 years, next 2 years and next 3 years. So these commitments, as against the goal of 1 billion commitment, we have net assets of $678.6 million, whereas commitments as against 1.025 billion, the commitments are 947 million. Commitments we have reached as good as, only the issue is that commitment has to be converted into net assets on actual givings. This is the overall summary of the collections of Rotary Foundation as per the 2022-23 unaudited and the goal. The goal of annual fund was 135 million, whereas actual collection is 147.6 million, which is a positive thing. In endowment fund, we have a deficit of 3.4 million. Again, Polio Plus, there is a positive indication that as against the goal of 135 million, we have collected 147.1 million. Other funds, 45 million, there has been a shortfall. So total outright contributions against the goal of 355 million, Rotary Foundation has collected 366.5 million. And new expectancies to the endowment fund are 60, as against 60 million, we got 49.3 million. And these are the top giving countries. You can see Nigeria is at number 14 by giving total of around $2.23 million to Rotary Foundation. I am speaking of Nigeria as a country, so where 9125 and 9110, both the districts will be considered. It will not be considered as only per district. India has been the second largest contributor. US has always been the highest contributor. Even by per capita. Per capita also, Nigeria is giving a good amount, $91.91 per person. Again, we see contribution by source. Individual Rotarians or individuals are contributing around 74.9% to the Rotary Foundation. Rotary organization, that's the trust and the charity organization within Rotary, they are contributing around 16.8, and external business or charity or government, they are contributing around 8.3%. And out of the individual, you can see the breakup, 86% of the individuals giving are Rotarians and 9.4% are former Rotarians. So around 95-96% are Rotarians or former Rotarians, and only 4.6% are people who are non-Rotary members who are donating to Rotary Foundation. Individual contribution to all the clubs, as against 35.1%, 39.1% Rotarians are giving, and the total giving per Rotarian has also increased by around 10% from $192.3 to $217.39. Similarly, club contributions, we can see 140 to 100% participating district. That is, 142 districts are giving 100% out of the 527 odd districts that we have across the globe. 142 districts are, every club in that district is contribution to Rotary Foundation in one way or the other. Now, this is the investment summary. As we saw, the endowment fund market value is 642 million. Annual fund and operating reserves, the income and in capital preservation is 519 million. Varies based on donor. Polio Plus Fund, 43 million capital preservation is there. Others, you can see this chart. I will share this presentation, don't worry. Now we come to the end users. The first and foremost is the Polio Plus program, which I explained to you earlier also. It started from Manila, it went through the globe. Today we have got polio in only 2 countries. There was a scare somewhere time back in US and Madagascar, but it has been controlled. So as of now, only Pakistan and Afghanistan are remaining. Nigeria, fortunately, was declared polio free a few years back. This is the biggest program where Rotary has contributed more than $2 billion for the Polio Plus program. Then another, it goes to Rotary 7 areas of focus. Maximum amount is spent over there. All the 7 areas of focus, mother and child benefit, now even environment is added. So we'll see the breakup of this, how much it is going. Then important piece also goes to the Rotary Peace Fellowships. Rotary is running around 7 centers, peace centers across the globe. Out of one is in your neighborhood in Uganda, they are giving peace certificates, annual 1-year certificate. And there are 2 types of courses, 3-year master course or 1-year certificate course. 80 people per year are given around, taken in for certificate courses, and 50 persons per year are taken in for the master's course. And Rotary bears all their costs and trains them to become peace fellows, and then they are posted to disputed areas, low peace areas for working. These are the Polio Plus funds which goes out of the Polio Plus funds through which beneficiary. In the African region, you can see through WHO, 3.18 billion is given. Even to, I think, Nigeria, it was there. Yeah. June 23, Nigeria through WHO, 2.675 million it was given. Again in January 23, 2.64. It is basically, although it is gone, but the vaccination must go on, the surveillance must go on. So for surveillance and vaccination, it is still going, amount is being given. 22-23 Nigeria immunization days, $204,000 have been given. Again, January 23, $200, so around $400,000 have been invested in Nigeria for this. Ghana, we have around $38,000. Then you can see the grants that are used by the primary areas of focus. Basic education and literary. 101 grants were given, amounting to 5.8. Community economic development, 7 million. Disease prevention has been given the maximum, 31.5 million. Environment, 3.3 million. Maternal and child health, 5.6. Peace building, 2.9 million. Water and sanitation, 12.42 million. This is by the primary areas of focus, the 7 areas of focus that we give. And by activity type, if you look, by humanity, for humanitarian, it is around $60 million are given for humanitarian causes. Vocational training is $700. For scholar, that is Peace Scholars and others, 7 million. Vocational training teams, 1.1 million. Vocational training teams are a good initiative that Rotary funds. I think from India, there was a vocational team a few years back for maternal this thing to your country. This is again, I gave you the numbers. Here is the percentage-wise expenditure on the global GERA by the areas of focus, how the global grants are given. As we can see, disease prevention, it goes 44%. It goes for disease prevention. Basic education, 9%. Community development, 15%. Environment, 5%. Maternal child had 9%. Peace building, 6%. And water and sanitation, it goes 15%. Top 10 recipient countries based on the project location. India has been the maximum beneficiary, it's got 219 grants, England 75, Philippines 73, and so on and so forth. Top 10 by amount. So again, India has got the maximum grant of 14.298 million. And basically, this grant may not be used for India itself. It is, yes, mostly used in India in rural areas. But nowadays, this grant is also being used outside India in other countries, doing projects in other countries also. To encourage the giving, Rotary gives recognitions so that people are encouraged to give. We understood the usage, we understood the purpose, we understood the need, but recognitions are given. One is a Rotary Foundation sustaining member. If you give $100 every year, year on year, you become a Rotary Foundation sustaining member. You get a certificate for that. Paul Harris Fellow or multiple Paul Harris Fellow. If you give $1,000 to Rotary Foundation, you become a Paul Harris Fellow, or you keep on giving $1,000 every year, you keep on becoming multiple Paul Harris Fellows till you become a major donor. For becoming a Paul Harris Fellow, you need not give $1,000. If you have, somebody has accumulated points, like if your club wants to encourage Paul Harris Fellows, and there are some people who have accumulated points, so what they can do is they can ask the members to give in, say, $500, and $500 points can be transferred to them, Rotary Foundation points, and they become Paul Harris Fellows. That way, you also get Paul Harris Fellow. You can fulfill your commitment of Rotary Foundation giving. And $1,000 or $500, it doesn't mean you have to give at one stroke. What you can do is you can give in installments, $100 every month. If you start giving and it accumulates to $1,000, it is more than enough. You will get the recognition of Paul Harris Fellow. It is not to be given in one stroke. That is the biggest advantage you have. Paul Harris Society sustaining members are a person who commits to give minimum $1,000 every year to the foundation. And this cannot be adjusted through the points. You have to literally give $1,000 every year to the foundation, and you become a Paul Harris sustaining member. Benefactor member, the moment you give to the endowment fund, either you create an endowment fund for yourself or your family, or you contribute to an endowment fund. As I told you, Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers Hills can create an endowment fund and every member can contribute $1,000. That $1,000 will be make him a benefactor member. That will count towards his Paul Harris Fellow membership also, and also it will count towards his major donor calculations also. It can be a bequest society. You can bequest in your will minimum of $10,000. So you become a bequest society member. Legacy society is one step ahead. If you bequest minimum of $1 million in your will or your estate, then you become a legacy society member. Major donor is a person who contributes $10,000 or more. There are various levels. $10,000 to $24,999,000, you are major donor level 1. The moment you cross 25,000, you become level 2, 50,000 level 3, 100,000 level 4, and $250,000, you become an Arts Club member. Arts Club Society member, again, there are circles, trustee circle, chair circle, and platinum circle. So it depends on what you are giving. The more you give, the more recognitions you keep getting from Rotary Foundation. Total in 22-23, 152 R Club Society members have become. 152 doesn't mean they have contributed $250,000 in one stroke. It might have been accumulated over a period of time. Major donors 3550. Overall, cumulatively, there are 1,416 AKS members. Major donors 48,165. 114 benefactors. 1.9 million Paul Harris Fellows. Not only the individual, but the clubs also get recognitions. First is the 100% foundation giving club. If every of your member contributes to the foundation, minimum $25, and the per capita giving goes above $100, then the club will get a foundation giving club. So like supposing Abuja Minister Hill has 30 members and you are contributing $3,000 in totality, but the other condition is that every member should also contribute minimum of $25. Then the club would get this banner of 100% foundation giving club. Similarly, every Rotarian every year, the moment you complete 100% foundation giving club, you become every Rotarian every year. The conditions are the same. 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club, where 100% of your members are Paul Harris Fellows. And as I told you, 100% of the members need not give $1,000. Members can accumulate points and tell them, okay, you give us 500 points and the remaining we will give you 500 points. So $500 and 500 points. That way you can get more and more Paul Harris Fellows in your club. You get a recognition if all your members become Paul Harris Society Club members. But here you cannot adjust through points. Here you have to have members genuinely giving $1,000. 100% Promise Club, where the club, every member promises to contribute to the Rotary Foundation. Then top 3 per capita and annual fund giving get in every district get citations from Rotary. So top 3 clubs which give per capita and annual fund, they get citations from Rotary, and this is for every district. End Polio Now, if the club gives $1,500 or more, then you get a certificate of appreciation for the End Polio Now. And not all now these recognition are not only restricted to Rotary, but now since Rotaract has become a full member of Rotary International, they are encouraging Rotaract also. If a Rotaract club cumulatively, the members of the Rotaract club cumulatively give more than $100 in a year, they get a Rotaract giving certificate. The only condition is that all the Rotaract members have to be enrolled on Rotary.org as members of that Rotaract club. When these were the sources from where we have got the information, I am open for any questions, and I would once again like to thank my friend A.G. George for giving me an opportunity and all of you for giving me a patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vijay, for that wonderful presentation. As always, it's good to hear you speak. And again, the chart is clear. If not for the Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers, we know that we are committed to giving a minimum, each member giving a minimum of $25 to the foundation this year. So that is our least commitment to the foundation. And I'm happy that we have members from the club who have listened to this discussion. And I believe majority of them will be motivated to give beyond $25, to give $100, to give $1,000 to support the Rotary Foundation. So once again, thank you, Vijay. At this point, I want to open up the session for 2 questions. Just 2 questions. Who's going first?
I'll ask a question. I'm not from there in Abuja. This is Dr. Sam. Vijay, explain about, and you did a very nice job, but I think it ought to be re-emphasized how that the money that's going into the foundation it actually still is the clubs and the district's money. They're using it for investments, but they're not taking that money. They're actually leveraging it and giving you more back. So could you explain that? Because that's a very difficult concept. And there is no other nonprofit on the planet I know of that's doing this.
Yeah,
And
Dr.
thank you for
Sam,
your excellent presentation.
Dr. Sam, I deliberately did not touch upon it because it takes time and it is a full-fledged talk in itself. What happens is,
I'm just asking you a question.
no, I am giving you the breakup. I'll explain to it. What happens
Okay,
is,
great.
now supposing we are doing a global grant. As I said, 47.5% of the annual fund is kept in the World Fund for usage. So supposing I am doing a global grant, but like supposing Abuja ministers will want to do a global grant of $100,000. So what they have to do is they have to just put in $30,000 now. That is the minimum. If you put in $30,000, you get a matching clubs from overseas, which will give you $30,000, $60,000, plus their districts give you 50%, $75,000, and Rotary International will fund you to 80% of that. So if you see, only by investing $30,000 from your club, you are getting more than $100,000 for your project. This is how the multiplication factor works in Rotary. I think this is what Dr. Sam, you wanted me to speak about. In brief, I have tried to explain it. As I said, to explain in detail, it would take me a full presentation.
Dr. Sam, you're on mute.
Yes, I was muted. I just say, Vijay, thank you for explaining more. I think that's very helpful.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sam.
President, can I ask a question?
All right, go ahead, Mr. Stanley.
All right, PPVJ, thank you so much for this presentation. Most of us here understand the importance of giving, but I'd like to hear a personal story from you as an individual, illustrating the importance of giving to the Rotary Foundation. Just a personal story from you.
There are many which affects. Nowadays, as I told you, this 30,000 you have to invest and you get 3 to 4 times. Okay. And there was a time when there was a Rotary Club in my district. They invested only $5,000 for a global grant project and they got $100,000 from the Rotary Foundation. Nowadays, the matching amount has reduced quite a lot. Earlier, they used to get 100% matching from the partner district, 100% matching from your individual districts, 100% matching for the partner clubs, as well as 100% matching from Rotary International. The more you collect, they used to get it. My personal experiences of donating, yes, I will give. It gives back. I don't want to entice you on that, but it is seen. I have seen that every time I donate to Rotary Foundation, it gives me back in some way or the other by way of business increase or business development and all that. It does help it. So it encourages. The more you give. Our recently elected director, Raju Subramaniam from our zone, he gives this good example every year. He says, for becoming an AKS, he was shot by around $30,000-$40,000. So he was asked to pay it. He paid it at a time. And then he says his chartered accountant called him up when his accounts were being finalized. He said, Raju, are you aware what is the receipt that you have shown? He is an advocate, Supreme Court advocate. He said, I am not aware. He said the receipts were much, much more than what I have contributed. So this is the power of Rotary Foundation. If you give it for good, it's definitely going to come back to you in one way or the other.
Thank you, PPVJ.
Thank you, Rotarian Stanley. And I think at this point, we don't have any other question. Is there another question from anybody? No. All right. Thank you very much, PPVJ. Do we still have Rotarian George on the call?
Yes, my president.
Okay. So please, can you appreciate our guest speaker?
Okay, my president. Fellow Rotarian friends and guests, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers Hill, we want to specially appreciate our beloved brother, friend, past President Vijay Kewalramani for a well insightful presentation that was delivered this evening. And we have a little but a special gift, which happens to be a certificate of appreciation. Yes, we've just posted it now. An appreciation from the board and members of the Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers Hill. Thank you, PPVJ, for this wonderful presentation. Thank you also for taking out time, because for any time we call you, you are always supportive, you're always there with us, and we appreciate so much of this, and we don't take it for granted. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President.
Thanks, AG. It was my pleasure to come and deliver a talk over here to my friends.
Thank you. Just adding my voice to the appreciation. Thank you, Vijay. And we will send your certificate across to you via email. If you were here physically, we would have handed it to you, well framed. But just to appreciate you for the quality of the presentation, the effort you have put in to ensure that you have a very quality presentation to share with us this evening. And also, the message is clear. We cannot stop giving to the foundation. We will continue to give. Once again, thank you very much on behalf of the Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers Hill. Moving from that, fellow Rotarians and our guests, we're already 5 minutes above our stipulated time for this meeting. So I would just want to quickly call on our zonal coordinator. I don't know if he's on the call. Rotarian James, let's see James. Ubeda, are you there? Oh, somebody's hand is up. Sorry. Okay, Dr. Sam, please go ahead.
Will the video recording of this be made available for those who attended and registered for this? Natalie from Beaverton, Oregon, just asked me that question, if she would have get a copy of the,
there is
the
a
video.
YouTube,
would that be available, Vijay?
YouTube link would be shared.
Okay, all right.
Great.
Yes, President, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
sounds great. That's all I need to know.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. And also, if we could, PPVJ, if we could also have the slides, I think that will also be very helpful as well.
Yeah, I'll share the slides as well as the YouTube link. YouTube link, actually, I already shared with AG George, but I'll again share it with you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so
my president, one more thing, my president. Can I suggest that we should be reminded to share our names and on the club chat, on the group chat, we share our names, classifications, and clubs, as well as maybe our email addresses, so we could network effectively.
Yes, great. Thank you very much, Rotarian Stanley. So because we're over 60 on this call, and it will be difficult for us to take introduction at this time, because if we have to do that, we'll spend another 1 hour on this call, because we have the worthy Rotarians on this call who would want to introduce themselves and their classifications and what they've done for Rotary. So please, I will appreciate if you could use the chat area. If you could drop your name, your club, your email address, and phone number. We will collate this data, and we would want to specially send you an appreciation message for taking our time today, 1 hour of your time to share fellowship with us. So please do not leave this meeting without dropping this information. Let's stay in touch. Rotary is all about friendship. First, friendship before service. And we, at the Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers here, we are pushing that narrative of building our network, expanding friendship, and delivering on service to humanity. I hope that's clear. So I'll call on our donor coordinator, James Weda, to give an omnibus toast to Rotarians from the United States of America, to Rotarians from India, from the Republic of India, from the Republic of Ghana, from Bangladesh, from the United Kingdom, from Kenya, who happen to be on this call this evening. Can you give a toast to all our visiting Rotarians across the globe? After which you will give a toast to Rotarians, visiting Rotarians from Nigeria, District 9125, and other districts within Nigeria. Moving from that, you will also give a toast to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and a toast to Rotary International. And our own past district governor, PDG Joshua Hassan, will respond. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, my President Dan Tamata. Thank you for the privilege and honor to give this toast. It's always gladdens my heart to be in the midst and in the forum of Rotarians, and more so, this is not a local one, this is an international forum for today. And we want to still, in the line of thanks, we'll just still thank all those that have joined us from outside Nigeria. And please, fellow Rotarians, if any guest is also in our midst, Rotaractors, please join me at this point to toast to worthy Rotarians that have joined us from other parts of the world. We'll want to start with the country of our own guest speaker of today, Vijay. We'll start with India, and we'll just do them together. Then we'll toast. If possible, you can unmute yourself. Please join me in toasting two Rotarians from India that are on this line, two Rotarians from the United States of America, two Rotarians also from our own neighbor Ghana, Rotarians from Bangladesh, Rotarians from the United Kingdom, Rotarians from Kenya, and also that is for all the foreign Rotarians. So please join me in toasting to all these Rotarians, to all the Rotarians from all the countries I've mentioned. Toast to them, please. Also, in the line of toast, we also want to toast to all our Rotarians from Nigeria, from the 9125 and other districts within Nigeria. We want to thank you for being part of this forum tonight. We also toast to you all. To all our Rotarians from Nigeria. Also, we'll toast to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the country which we call our own, the country which has given us the opportunity to also continue doing Rotary. Please join me in toasting to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Also, if there are Rotaractors here, so I won't forget them, and our guests, please, you're well. If you're a guest and you're on this forum too, we say thank you for joining us. So, to all our guests and to Rotaractors on this forum, toast to them. And at this point, to that organization that is doing good in the world through the Rotary Foundation, that organization that has promised the children of this world that polio will be eradicated from the surface of this earth, and that organization that is putting smile on faces on the surface of this earth, that is Rotary International. Please, fellow Rotarians, join me in toasting to the continuous existence, in toasting to the continuous progress, in toasting to the continuous doing good in the world by Rotary International, to Rotary International and to Rotarians the world over.
So Rotary International, Rotarians the world over.
Thank you, my president. Over to my past district governor, Joshua Hassan.
You're muted. PDG, you're muted.
I was wondering who muted me. There are so many enemies around these days. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, all friends I'm seeing here. And it has been the worthwhile evening. And Sam, it has been quite a long time. I saw you, and I'm sure we are all doing well. And what a wonderful meet, over 60 persons from across the world, across actions. And that's what Rotary stands for. The only organization that for the last 15 years have gotten the 4-star scoring of the way and manner we handle our project to make sure that we do good in the world. So thank you, gentlemen. And on behalf of McNally, the RI president, it is us that he has asked to bring hope to the world. So once more, can we raise our glasses and talk to this fantastic organization called Rotary, to Rotary International and Rotarians world over.
Rotarians the world over.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, have a good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is and wherever you are. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, my very own past District Governor Joshua Hassan. And thank you very much, Uncle Sam. Great to see you again. Thank you very much, our guest speaker, Vijay. Happy to have shared knowledge this evening, or tap from your knowledge this evening. Happy to see Rotarians across the globe connect with us as the Rotary Club of Abuja Ministers team. This is the beauty of Rotary. We're making friends across the globe, and that is what Rotary has promised us. It's been an amazing evening. I enjoyed my time. I hope you also did enjoy this evening, sharing fellowship with us. We're looking forward to next month, where we'll be having same fellowship online, and we will extend our invitations again to you. And we will be happy to have our doors open, our arms wide open to welcome